Hey guys, welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So this is another episode of Meatloaf 69 to be exact. I've got a few items here. What I'd like to do first though is start out by thanking all the oxen out there that stepped up and bought a t-shirt or two. You guys surprised the hell out of me. I set a pretty modest goal, and it was exceeded by a factor of 4. So that's very humbling for me that you guys appreciate what I'm doing and like the show and like the content that I'm putting out there. So to me, this is a reflection of that appreciation. So I thank you all very much for that, and here's the sales part of the show. For those guys that missed out on the first go around, Teespring will let you reserve, and then when it reaches a certain threshold, they'll reprint again. So don't be afraid to go ahead and reserve one, and when it gets to a certain quantity, they'll reprint them. So they're not going away. They'll still be available, and for the rest of time, or the rest of the time I'm doing this. So and then hopefully we'll add some designs. I got a couple of ideas along those lines that you guys might like, and we'll take a look at that. So enough about t-shirts. Thanks again. We got a couple of boxes that showed up. I got a new tool. We got some special work holding compound that we're going to show, a little bit different material, and we'll find some other stuff to throw in there too. So let's get my apron on and let's go take a look at some stuff. Okay, so this first box that showed up last week, I've already opened it up, and there was no note in it, but I know totally who it's from, and it was pretty obvious. So when you got stuff like this in there, it's pretty easy to tell who it came from. Now, we all know Adam over at A-Bomb79, and if you don't, you better get over there and check him out. He does some awesome stuff, and he and I are good buddies, and we talk back and forth all the time. So Adam sent me a little box, and this is one of these steel plates that Keith Finner cut out for Adam. Adam's actually mounted one of these to a rotary welding table that he's building, but now I have one too, which is kind of cool. So Adam, thanks a lot for that. And then he sent me some A-Bomb stickers here, a little pile of A-Bomb stickers. So you'll see these around the shop. I'm going to put one on my car. It's raining today, or else I go out there and stick one on there for you guys. But and I don't know if I'm going to do a black one or a white, probably a white one on the car, and then a couple of these somewhere else in the shop, so you see them in the background somewhere. So Adam, thanks for the stickers, and you got a little package coming your way, so check it out when it shows up. Now, actually, let's save that one for last, because that one's pretty cool. He sent me some drill bits here, and I don't remember if he showed these on his channel or what. So these are special drill bits here, and they have threaded shanks on them, okay? And it's a bunch of different sizes, and wow, look at that one. So that's I've never seen one of those. That's a threaded shank reamer, so maybe for misaligned rivet holes you can jam it in there. So let's I think if I'm lucky here, I got oh yeah, this one. There's that one, and I thought I had another one somewhere. Don't see it right away. Okay, so this is a special tight quarters drill here. This is an aircraft drill, and one of the ways they do that is they don't have a chuck. So what they do is they thread the shanks of the drill bits, and then let's pop that out of there. Yeah, we'll get a look at it here. It's got a little cross hole here. Oh, I'm lucky it's not tight. So this keeps you from rotating here, and then you take that out, and then you can install another one in there like so. And these are nice. This is for real tight quarters, getting in there inside airplane stuff. They have straight ones and ones probably that have swivel heads and things like that. But anyway, Adam, thanks for those. Those are kind of a weird thing that unless you have this, you can't make use of. So I don't think Adam has one of these. These will save your, you know what, you're behind in tight quarters work where you need to do some maintenance or repair, and you're in a tight space, or there's some overhead obstruction or something like that. This is a little pneumatic one here. Flea market. So Adam, thanks for the drill bits. That's cool. And let's move on to this last item here. I think I'm going to bring the camera in closer because this is kind of a special hammer here. So I want to do it justice here. So let's come in nice and close, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so this is this hammer Adam sent, and we'll just kind of look it over here. It's got somebody's name in it here, Beal, I think is the name, B-E-A-L, so probably a last name. Nice spherical end on that, nicely proportioned. Not an original handle, but the handle looks pretty proportioned well for the head. Now what's neat about this is a Winchester hammer, and I think Adam showed this on one of his Saturday night specials. And Winchester apparently made tools. They were trying to make, expand their business into tools in hardware stores. They used to sell rifles and ammunition in hardware stores back in the day, and I think part of their thing was, hey, we're already in hardware stores, what else can we make for hardware stores to expand our business? So there was a line of tools. Well, a couple of viewers wrote in and mentioned that these are pretty collectible here, and who doesn't want a hammer that says Winchester on it, right? So for working on their Winchester, right? Something like that. Anyway, Adam, that's a sweet little hammer there. And we'll probably clean the handle a little bit because it feels like it's got a light coating of weasel snot on it. And the head looks pretty good. Might do a little polish on that just to make the face nice and smooth. But I think this patina is worth preserving on this one. Anyway, Adam, thank you very much. That's a nice gift. I really appreciate it. Oh, and we'll show these real quick, and you can see the threaded shanks. And here's that reamer there that I've never seen one of those before, and it's pretty sharp too. So, Adam, thanks a lot, bud. Okay, so this next set of items comes to us from Kelly Sampson, and he's in Pocatello, Idaho. And Kelly sent me a couple of items here that I think you'll really like. So we'll do this one last here. This one's pretty interesting here. He sent me some gloves, and he says these are his favorite TIG welding gloves, and they're just wonderful gloves. They're very nicely made, and he tells me, I think he says they're made right in Idaho there. Let's double check here. Yellowstone Leather Products, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Made in the USA. So, and they're handmade. Now these are buckskin here. Let's see if I can get my big hoof in there. Actually, they're an excellent fit. So, gloves like this, it's initially, if they're just a whisker snug, then they soften up and they get real nice. So these look pretty good. I'm real happy with that fit. So that's a 9.5 for my hoof. You guys can see that. So excellent gloves, nice stitching. It's got a little bit of elastic inside it, and they're just soft as butter, and they smell wonderful too. So Kelly, thanks for those gloves. Those are great. I'll put those to good use. You guys know how I like wearing gloves. protects the hoofs. So what's in here, this is kind of cool, and I'll show it at a distance and then we'll zoom in on it too. So, you know, he was wondering about the oldest hammer that I have, and honestly I don't know which one is the oldest, but I'm pretty sure this one beats them all hands down pretty handily. So let's open this up and take a look at it. So he says the box is from the article, or the box is from the Brown Hole Dynasty. So I'll let you guys figure that one out. So anyway, let's open it up here, and he's got a little. This hammerstone is a gift to Tom Lipton. Address, phone numbers, and stuff like that. Anyway, there it is. Let's pull it out of the box. So this is literally prehistoric here, and this is it's a hatchet or a hammer. It's a stone article. So some old, really old guy sat there and abraded that so that they could put. I believe this style here, they put a split piece of wood around there and then laced it, and then they could use this as a chopping implement or a hammering implement. So that's pretty dang cool. And like I said, I'll bring you in closer on this. This is pretty good. And Kelly, you're right. This is the oldest hammer I have now. So thanks for thinking of me. And this thing is, you know, I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to get clocked in the head with that. It's not razor sharp, but if they had a good handle on it, I'm sure that's pretty durable, and you could chop wood with that, or certainly crack some heads with that. So let's zoom in on this, and you guys can get a look at the gloves closer and this wonderful hammerstone. So, okay, so here's the gloves, and you can see these up close, and they're just very nicely made. Nicely stitched and put together, high quality, made in the U.S. Okay, so there's the hammerstone. You can see somebody whacked something and it chipped it, and you know, maybe that's why it maybe got discarded. I don't know. I don't know the provenance on this, where he got it from or found it or whatever, but. Somebody chipped this thing and you know, probably abraded it against a harder rock to get this shape in there. And like I said, I've seen some of these that had like a split piece of willow around it or something like that, where they wrapped it around and then they pulled those together and then, you know, lashed it together to get a good tight fit on that head. But that thing's pretty spectacular. That is very cool. Kelly, thank you very much. It's a really nice gift. And then we'll put it back in its box, and store it away and cherish that. That's pretty cool. So I wanted to show you guys this new tool acquisition, and we're going to call this the Sword of the Wizard. Dun, dun, dun. This is a SPB 54 snap-on pry bar. Striking face, so you can hit it with a hammer, and 54 inches long. Got a tip guard. This is actually sharp here, which I'll probably round that a little bit. In fact, it even cut through the protective thing. So anyway, I ordered a pry bar for a friend of mine, and at the same time I said, hey, look at that, I'm going to get one of those. And my current, oh, it's not in there, I got it. You know what, I'm going to go get it. Let me cut away and I'll go get it. So these are my favorites here, and this is untested right now, but we're going to try that one. So this one I've had for years. This is a SPB 36, and which is quite a bit smaller. This one, yeah, you can move a Bridgeport around with this one really easily. So, and I've used the hell out of that one, and it's awesome. My super duper favorite one is this adjustable head one here that has this adjustable foot. So when you're up in a tight area here, you can reconfigure this so you know, you can still get some leverage on something. So this one, I moved a 8,000, was it 8,000 pound? Actually, it might have been more than that, about 8,000 pound milling machine, and this was like no problem. And now this one, it's nice and long, but that's one of its faults too. If you need just sheer leverage, this is going to be great. But tight quarters, this is going to fight you there a little bit. So that's where something like this comes in. And I have a shorter one too for even tighter stuff. So anyway, some new tool acquisition. Let's see, I have to do my Viking pose here of with my new sword here. So anyway, thanks for looking. Okay, so this next one I want to show you guys is this Crystal Bond 509 mounting adhesive. So this is used for mounting small samples for diamond dicing, for microscopy and things like that. It's also, if you have a kind of a low heat application, you can use it for mounting something for grinding. In particular, thin, hard to support items, and also light machining too. So what we're going to do is and I'll bring you in closer on this too. We have two varieties of this. They're both the same except for color, and I think they have different colors depending on what you're actually dicing. It makes it easier to see the object. So I got, you know, there's kind of a minimum order from these guys. So I got some clear and I got some of this light amber. I don't think it makes any difference. And this material it's pretty hard. It's kind of I don't know what you'd call it's hard, harder than kind of wood-like. Okay, that kind of hardness. What we're going to do is we're going to mount something and put it in the lathe and do a little bit of work on it. And I just dropped it. So what I have here is I have just a copper penny, and so all you guys, all you tricksters out there that want to make two-headed pennies, this might be an interesting way to do that. But we need a little platen to mount it to for the machining. So I just keep dropping that thing. It wants to be on the ground. So what I'm going to do, I got a little hot plate here. I'm going to heat it up on this hot plate, and we'll mount this with this Crystal Bond, and then we'll do a little machining on it. We'll just give it a try, see how it works. So I'm going to fire this up and set it at, I don't know, my knob's missing here, so I'm going to set it at around 250, I think, 250F. And we'll get this warmed up. We'll get a little Crystal Bond on here, and then we'll mount this up and we'll give it a try. So in the meantime, while that's warming up, yeah, it's starting to get warm, I'll bring you in a little closer and so you can see what this stuff looks like, and we'll talk about this company just a whisker. Okay, so this is starting to get warm here. So here's the material, and you can kind of see it there. You can hear that it's pretty hard, and I've kind of messed around with it a little bit just to try it. I was impressed. It came with this little kind of QC document that my shipment had been checked, that there was one box and two separate items in the box, so to verify this against the packing list, which is kind of nice. There's the information for SPI Supplies, and they're in Westchester, Pennsylvania, a good American company. Anyway, they sell all kinds of scientific stuff. So they're kind of an interesting company. So, but this is Structure and Probe is what their kind of long name is. I don't know, check them out. This stuff's kind of interesting. It's not super expensive, but their minimum charge kind of dings you a little bit because you got to get a couple of these. This is probably next to 2 lifetime supplies here. And anyway, maybe I'll saw some of this up and send it to some other folks for testing. So, all right, so this is warming up nicely. Let's give this a few minutes here, and we'll mount our little penny and see what we can do. Okay, I think we're getting close here. And it's feeling slippery there. Okay, yeah, see it's melting off at the end of this melting off at the end of this nicely here. Let's get a little puddle going. Now I haven't used this before. I've used similar methods, but never this particular material, so I don't know what its limitations are, so maybe we'll find out. All right, so let's put Abraham uphill here. So I think I'm just going to make sure I got plenty on there. I think what I want is I want a little fillet around the outside here to kind of we got to put Uncle Abe on center here, or else our machinist sensibilities will be offended here. So, all right, well that looks pretty good. So I'm going to turn that off, and then I think what I'll do is I'll just take this off here and set it on this gigantic heat sink of a table, and or maybe these copper jaws up here. Let's do that. So we'll set that up there. We'll let that cool off, and then we'll see what happens. All right, there's our, you know what, that's all blown out, isn't it? It's hard to see, huh? So there's our Abraham Lincoln penny mounted there. You know what, I might have to stop this down a little bit. Let's stick it in there, and then I'll adjust the camera exposure for the machining here. So we actually don't even really have to center this up, because old Abe, he's a little off center there anyway, so we're just gonna crinch him down a little bit. Hey, new word there for you, crinch. Kind of like cinch, but different. Makes that little noise. Okay, yeah, that'll work fine for facing. So let me change the camera exposure, and then we'll go from there. All right, there's old Abe. He's gonna get the treatment. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm just hand feeding right now. Oh yeah, it's fine. Stuff's it's kind of dusty coming off. All right, let's take a little more. I'm power feeding now. Tool's a little off center. Take another little pass. Let's make a nice thin little disc here, and then we'll pop it loose and see what it looks like. Okay, a little more. You can see the zinc, you know, this is a newer penny, one of the cheapo pennies, not a copper one. little blivet there. Raise it just a teeny more. All right, let's take another pass. See how thin we can go here. Actually, what I'll do on this next one is I'll zero off of that surface and then come out and see where we are. Let's get rid of that. We'll use a DRO to take a measurement here. Okay. We'll come up. So we're 30 thousandths thick, a little less than a millimeter. Let's make it 20. Pretty good cut there, actually. All right, then we'll unbond this and see what it looks like. Yeah, and not much left. Okay, cool. Let's unbond that and then see what it looks like. All right, let's try to dismount this without using any heat. So, oh, by the way, there's that hammer that Adam gave me, and the handle cleaned up real nice, and I did the face, and anyway, that came out pretty good. Happened to be sitting here. So this is just acetone here. I'm gonna put a little on there. Let's see if this will dissolve that bond. I don't really want to pry on it. I can't really tell what's going on. If it's attacking that or what. Oh yeah, it's okay, so it's sticky, I can feel it, so it's working on that bond there. All right, well, let's just let it sit in a puddle of that for a little while. Or maybe I'll wipe it. I mean, sure, you could heat it again, but maybe you don't want to after you've done some stuff to it. All right, well, I'm gonna let it sit there for like that for a little while, and then we'll come back to that one. So, all right. So it looks like the acetone takes a little while, but it does dissolve this stuff. Kind of weird seeing it that thin, huh? I should have set up two of these. I could have made a two-tailed penny. All right, let's clean that up. This thing's pretty thin now, so I don't want to bend it or anything. And, oops, I feel some stickiness on that. This needs a little more cleaning, but looks like some residue on there. I prepared this. I had faced it, and then I just kind of went over on the surface plate on some paper and just put a little tooth on it just to kind of help hold things. But anyway, there's an, oops, that's a thin penny now, I'll tell you. You can't even pick it up. There's an example using the this crystal bond 509, and the DK is the dark, and this is the clear stuff here. Let's see if you guys can kind of see that there. So it's kind of like, you know, resin or you know, hard adhesive that melts at a particular temperature. Anyway, a shelf life indefinite, so one stick will last you forever. There's the website, and try it out if you have a machining job that might need something like that. Anyway, thanks for looking at that. All right, Adam. Right on, bud. Thanks for the sticker. I'll wear it with honor.